Ahead of key decisions on the district's budget, right now concerns are growing about proposed cuts impacting some critical services. Advocates warn millions in reductions could affect support for domestic violence survivors facing homelessness. Joining us live this morning is Lisa Winjum with the organization My Sister's Place ahead of her testimony before D.C. Council later today. Lisa, good morning to you. Thanks for being with us.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
We know millions of dollars in proposed cuts are being pushed forward right now. That could certainly impact your organization. Talk about what that number actually means on the ground for My Sister's Place, and how would this really impact the services that you all provide?
Sure. I do want to say that, less funding means less services for people who come to My Sister's Place and who come to other domestic violence service providers for help. We all receive more requests for help than we can meet. And when funding is reduced, My Sister's Place and other organizations are going to be forced to make some impossible decisions about staffing, about capacity, and about access for survivors.
And I know that you all work a lot with survivors of domestic violence. Talk about how these cuts could really impact people even further who are already facing homelessness and trying to really get out of a dangerous situation.
Sure. So, what My Sister's Place does is we provide shelter, emergency shelter, trauma informed support, financial counseling, and other services. When the budget is reduced, it makes it harder for us to provide these services. In the last fiscal year, we received $3.8 million in OVSJG funding to operate our emergency shelter and our RISE transitional housing program. In that year, those programs supported 336 survivors and their family members. This is part of an infrastructure that survivors rely on, and reduced funding reduces survivors' access to these critical services that they need stability.
Yeah, and Lisa, you are set to testify before D.C. Council later today. What is your main message to lawmakers? What do you really want them to understand that they may be missing?
I want them to understand that right now, victim services providers, organizations like MSP, we can't afford to take a hit. We are at a critical point in domestic violence response in the district. The need for services is increasing, and we know domestic violence and domestic violence homicides are on the rise. If we want to meaningfully address domestic violence and give survivors the support and the help they need, we need to not only reject these proposed cuts, we also need to invest more dollars in these so that we can provide them.
All right, Lisa Winjum with My Sister's Place ahead of an important discussion taking place later today. Thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it.